Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Nama Parvati, Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsavesa, Siva Sidambaram, Tinavre Sivane, Potri, Natavarkum Mireva, Potri, Thiruchitrambalam, Edakkum Makkada Indamal Chayula, Nadakum Mainmay, Namakkarul Saydida, Tatake, Aindudai Tal Sevi, Nilmudi, Kadakalichai, Karatulirituvam, Mudagaramunando, Darkariavan, Nilavulavi, Nirmalivanian. அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேல் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலைதான் திருத்தொண்ட தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி ஒல்லையவர் புராண கதை புலகரிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் அணிவோம். பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to Periyapuranam Discourse series. Today we are going to continue the third part of Embiran Srimad Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal history. Right now, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal is in Thonipuram, worshipping the Lord of Thonipuram and Goddess Periyanayagi. Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal wished to go to Chidambaram this time. So this is going to be his fourth pilgrimage. So far he has done 3 pilgrimages, and this is going to be his fourth pilgrimage. So he had intense love to go to see the dance of Lord Natarajar in Chidambaram. Lord Natarajar is the king of dance, Adal Arasan. So he shared his wish with his father, the great Siva Swamigal, and he got excited as well. And his father also decided to join Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal and his Thirukutam group of Shiva devotees for the pilgrimage to Chidambaram. So thousands of devotees gathered together, and the group was led by Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal. From Thonipuram, they started walking towards Chidambaram. And then when they reach the border of Chidambaram, this is something really, really important. Every Shaivite must be aware and follow these rules when you go to Chidambaram. The border of Chidambaram is considered as the end of the wisdom of this world. Arivin Ilayagi Tillai. That's what the Cheklo Swami says in Shri Thirugnanasambanda Nayanar Puranam. The 3 saints of Shaivism, Samayakuravat, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal, and Sundaramurti Swamigal. Also Manikya Swamigal, we don't have any reference about that Periyapuranam, but they followed a rule when they worshipped Chidambaram. When they reached Chidambaram, they stopped at the border of Chidambaram and they paid their respect to the Kshetra itself. Before they enter the city, they paid their respect in the border itself, and then they entered. In Kalarichirva Nayanar, Saranvarma Nayanar also follow the same rule. When they follow, we also should follow. There's no exception. So whenever you go to Chidambaram, if you go by car, stop your car, then pay your respect in the border itself, and then you enter. Before you enter, you must stop, pay your respect in the border to the Lord of Natarajar. If you're going by bus, the only choice is you have to think of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva when you reach the border. So this is something Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal followed. We also must follow the same, just so you know. So he fell down on the ground at the border, and then he paid his respect to the Lord Natarajar. Then the 3,000 Brahmins of Chidambaram, Thillai Vaal Andanar came forward, came to the border itself to give a warm welcome to our great saint Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal. They gave a very warm welcome with Purna Kumbha, respect and all that. And then Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal reached the temple, Chidambaram temple, So Chidambaram temple has 4 entry points, 4 tower. Tower means Gopuram. So it has got 4 towers, east, south, west, north. Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal entered the Chidambaram through the south entrance. The south entrance. Upper Swamigal west, Sudarma Swamigal north, and Manika Swamigal east. So they entered the temple. Narasimha Swamigal came around the lake temple. Then he reached the Kanagasabha where the Lord dances and does the 5 jobs. He was literally, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal was so delighted to see the dance of Lord Rajar. He was literally in tears. And then Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal composed a wonderful phrase explaining the experience of Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal in Kanagasabha. உணர்வின் நேர்பரவரும் சிவபோகத்தை ஒளிவின்றி உருவின் கண் அணையும் ஐம்பொறி அளவினும் எளிவர் அருளினை என போற்றி. See, when it comes to the experience, the enjoyment of worshipping Lord Shiva, to experience the blessings of Lord Shiva, is called Shivananda, the joy. It's beyond the 5 senses. As human beings, we are limited by our 5 senses, and ultimately our goal is to get rid of this body, go beyond the 5 senses, then attain the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So the real pleasure of being with Lord Shiva can only be felt beyond the 5 senses. It's a soul-to-soul communication, not a body-to-soul communication, soul-to-soul experience. But Thirugnanasambanda Swami says in Chidambaram, it's Unarvin Nerbharavaram Sivabhogate. It's a soul-to-soul experience, but still the Lord was so kind enough to come down by several levels to give the same joy even through the 5 senses. Even through the 5 senses in Chidambaram. And then that endless grace, he prized that endless grace and composed a wonderful Tirupatiyam called Katrangi Riyombi. He danced, he cried, copious tears, full of joy, and he enjoyed the great darshan. And then in the first line of Tirupati, Chidambaram Tirupati in Katrangi Riyombi, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal prized 3,000 Brahmins of Thillai. Katrangiriyombi Kaliye Varami Setrar Val Thillai Sitrambalame. So Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal prices that song as Uli Mudalvarku Urimai Tolil Sirapal. They are entitled, 3,000 Brahmins of Thillai, entitled to worship and serve the Lord Nataraja. And that entitlement was given by him. It's by birth. The Lord Shiva has given them the rights. So no one can argue that. It's a decision. It's the Lord's rule. That's it. Human beings cannot go against that. And had a great darshan. Thirugnanasambanda Swami had a wonderful darshan. Went around the Kanagasabai, Periyapuranam, and all that. Tirumalataan or Sanidhi. And then night came. Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal decided not to stay in Chidambaram. You may be wondering why. He decided to go to Thiruvetkalam, which is close by, 2-3 kilometers from Chidambaram, to stay that night. Because Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal, it was so divine. Chidambaram was so divine, and he was reluctant to stay in that place because it's thousands of devotees with him, and the place may get polluted. So it's so divine. So that's Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal's decision to go and stay in Thiruvetkalam. Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal says he was afraid of polluting that place. So divine. So he went to Thiruvetkalam. He stayed there. The next day morning, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal went into the temple of Thiruvetkalam, composed a wonderful padigam for Thiruvetkar, the Lord of Thiruvetkalam. And then he also went to another temple close by, Kalipalai temple. had a great darshan. Then he came back to Chidambaram. And now, when he came back to Chidambaram, again, Thirugnanasambanda Swami had an amazing experience. Lord Shiva, the Lord of all the worlds, made Thirugnanasambandar see the 3,000 Brahmins of Thillai as Sivagananathar. So 3,000 Brahmins of Thillai just looked like Sivagananathar to the eyes of Thirugnanasambanda Swami. And then Thirugnanasambanda Swami was so delighted to see them. And then he also told Thirugnanasambanda Nayanar, do you see that? They look like, so he showed them to Lord Shiva, showed them to Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal. Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal showed them to Thirugnanasambanda. Then Thirugnanasambanda also could see them. And they were extremely pleased. So they're so Thilevalataragal, so auspicious devotees. That's why when Nambiyar Swamigal asked how to start praising Shiva devotees, Nayanmars, Thiruvarur, the Lord of Thiruvarur said, Thillaivalandanadam adiyarkum adiyen. Lord himself said, I am the servant of those devotees. So I have no words to explain any further. So they had a great darshan of Chidambaram. And then after finishing the darshan of Thiruchitrambalam, Yalpanar, Tirunilakanda Yalpanar, he requested to Thirugnanasambanda Swami, can we have a darshan of Shiva temples on the bank of Niva River? Niva River. There are several banks. There are several temples on the bank of Niva River. That is it's a route from Chidambaram to Mudugundram route. Thirugnanasambanda Swami was so pleased to accept that. Let's go and have darshan. And then they first reached Erkathambuliyur. Erkathambuliyur was the birthplace of Sri Thirugnanasambanda Nayanar. Thirugnanasambanda Swami praised him, saying, "This city was so blessed to have you. Have you been born in the city?" Then Thirugnanasambanda Swami composed a wonderful padigam in Erkathambuliyur, and then they continued their pilgrimage towards Mudugundram, wonderful temple, as equal as Kashi Kshetra, Mudugundram, Palamalai Nadar. They had a great darshan, and that temple has got some great padigams as well from Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal. Then they headed towards Thiruthunganaimadam, Sudarkulindiswarar Alage Kadaliyamai, the names of Lord and Goddess in the temple. Amazing temple. This is the temple where Upper Swamigal got Rishabam and Sula tattoo, Trishul tattoo. So Tunganimadam, Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal had a great darshan, composed a wonderful padigam starting Utungum Piravi. Great padigam. And then they wanted to go to Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal wanted to go to Nilvail Arathurai. This time Sambanda Swamigal wished to visit the Nilvail Arathurai and started walking by himself instead of being carried around by his great father. So they just started walking. It was extremely hot, and his food started turning red. Then the Trikutam, the group of Shiva devotees headed by Samanda Peruman, they decided to spend a night in another temple called Thirumaranpadi, and they stayed there. Then Shiva appeared in the dream of the devotees of Thirumaranpadi and also Nilvail Arathurai devotees. He said, my young devotee, Thirugnanasambandhan, strained himself by this long walk to see me. I have left for him a palanquin made of full of pearls, and a pearl umbrella, and also gold chinams, musical instruments. So go ahead, get them over to him. and I need you all to bring him to my temple, seated in the palanquin. Muttupallak, Muttupallak in Tamil. So then Lord Shiva, the Lord of Arathurai, Nilvayil Arathurai, appeared in the dream of Samandaperuman as well, and he told the same thing and ordered him to accept it. See how Lord Shiva, the grace of Lord Shiva. He informed his devotees, I got this for Sambandha, and that came. Then he also appeared in Samandaperuman dreams and found him. I informed the devotees, they will come to you, accept it. It's amazing to hear all that. So the day dawned, and when Samandaperuman was praising the Lord, and then in the next day morning, the sun came up. Then Shiva devotees came, and they were so pleased to see the pearl palanquin, pearl umbrella, and the golden chinnams, trichinnams. They were so delighted and excited, and then they took them all to Samandaperuman. Then Samandaperuman saw them. Samandaperuman wore vibhuti, studying Panchakshara, and then the whole group of devotees requested Samandaperuman to get on the pearl palanquin. Wonderful phrase composed by Deva Chekla Swamigal when Samanda Swamigal get on the palanquin. Sodimuttin Sivihai Sulvandu Par Meedu Sodimuttin Sivihai Sulvandu Par Meedu Taldu வெண்ணீற்றொளி போற்றி நின்று ஆதியார் அருள் ஆதலின் அஞ்செழுத்து ஓதி ஏறினார் உய்ய உலகலாம். So he came around the pearl palanquin gifted by the Lord of Tirunelvayil Arathurai. He bowed his head to the palanquin because he saw that as the blessings of Lord Shiva. And then he praised the brilliant light of Vibhuti, Tiruneeru. It's the blessings of Lord Shiva. So he chanted Sri Panchakshara, and then he climbed palanquin. He got inside the palanquin, and then the blessed devotees of Lord Shiva and the followers of Samandaperuman lifted the palanquin on their shoulder. They were blessed souls to lift and hold acharyas, Samandaperuman Swami. Then they went to Nilvayil Arathurai temple. That's the Lord who gifted him all this. Samandaperuman went inside the temple. He composed a wonderful padigam, Endai Easan, starting Endai Easan in Peruman. And there he said, Enayum Burulaga, Inal Burdalam, Pradita Tamaril Putti Putti. Thank you very much for even valuing me and giving me all this. That's a grace of Lord Shiva. And then Samandaperuman spent a few days enjoying, worshipping the Lord of the Nilvayil Arathurai. Then he went to another temple close by Nelvennai, close to Nilvayil Arathurai. And then again he came back to Arathurai. Then the pilgrimage got extended to several other temples. Thirugnanasambanda visited Paluvur, Thiruvisayamangai, Thirupurambayam, Thirusengalur, Sandesa Nayanar's birthplace, Thirupanandal, also called Thiruthadayicharam, Thiruomampuliyur, Thiruvalgoliputtur, Kadambur Karakkoil, Tirunarayur, where we got all the Murmudrigal Devaram with the help of Sri Ganesha and Nambiyanda here. So when we say Narayur, it's the best practice always when we talk about a specific temple, we recall the glorious things associated with that. It may be a birthplace of Nayanmar. There may be some amazing incident happen, like Tirunelveli means the Swamigal got the pearl palanquin, pearl umbrella, gold Tiruchinam, and so on. And then he also visited Periyapuranam and composed a lot of wonderful Thirupadiyams. And now Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal wanted to go back to his Anmartha Lord, Thonipuram, the Lord of Brahmapuram. So he decided to get back to Srigali. The message went to everyone in Srigali that Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal is coming, because I think probably several months since he left Srigali, he is coming back. Then Thirugnanasambanda Peruman, thousands of devotees walking on the road, and then the pearl palanquin in the middle, coming slowly in the middle. And then he reached Brahmapuram, Srigali, and then the disciples of Srigali gave him a warm welcome. And Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal went to the temple directly, had a great darshan of Thoniyapar and Periyanayagi, and then he went to his mud. So that covers the fourth pilgrimage of Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal. We will continue to think through the other parts of Thirugnanasambanda Swamigal history in the upcoming classes. So let's close the class for today. We will cover a few more interesting incidents of Thirugnanasambanda Nayanar Puranam in the next class. Thiruchitrambalam Veda Neri Thalattonga Migu Saiva Thurai Vilanga Buddha Parambarai Puliya Punidavai Malandaluda Sida Vala Vayapugale Thirugnanasambanda Pada Malar Thalai Kondu Thiruthondu Paravuvam. என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் ஓங்கிற மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹரஹர நம பார்வதி பதே ஹரஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம் தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. ஸ்ரீ திரிஞானசம்பந்த சுவாமிகள் மலரடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.